Now in direct mapping, we know exactly where to look for, which means whenever CPU produces an address, using that address we know exactly in which block of the, in which line of the cache we have to look for a block of the main memory. That is what we will exactly know, right? Therefore we can directly go into that block, that line of the cache memory, and then take the tag and compare it with the tag generated by the main memory address, and we could finally get the we could finally know whether this is presented in the cache or not. In case if it is not present, then we'll go to the main memory and get it, right? So the entire time taken to find out whether the required block is present in the cache or not is called as hit latency. The word is hit latency. What is miss latency? The time taken to service a miss is miss latency. What happens if there is a miss? And even if there is a hit, then also there is time taken, right? So let's see how it works really. So one thing is, let us say, I'll take a small example. Let us assume that my main memory, this cache lines, four cache lines are present, four lines are present in the cache, and each line is having a tag. And for the sake of simplicity, assume that the number of tags, the number of bits present in the tag are 2 bits. Okay, and now CPU has generated the physical address. Now in this physical address we have three parts. One is line offset or block offset, right? Another is line number, another is tag, isn't it? Now using this line number, I can get into this tag. Okay, watch it. So let us say tag bit is just 1 bit. It is not 2 bits, it is just 1 bit. Tag bit is simply 1 bit, okay, not 2 bits. Then I'll have a multiplexer. So since there are 4 tag lines, 4 lines, I'll have 4 by 1 multiplexer. This is a 4 by 1 multiplexer, okay. And now which one among these you want to choose, you want to check, that depends on the line number. So let us say these are the input lines. So you please watch the digital videos, then you will understand it. Now what is this multiplexer trying to do is, using the line number, it is going to choose one of the lines, isn't it? So using the line number, if you provide it, then it will choose one of the lines, right? And then whatever bit is present here, let us say here it is given as 01. 01 is the line number, which means this line number is 00, this line number is 01, this one is 10, and this one is 11. Whenever line number is 01, this particular line will be selected, and the bit which is present here, this will be coming out, right? Let us say here the bit is 0, then what will come out? Here it will come out as 0, right? And let us say tag is 1 bit. That is what our assumption is, right? Now I'll take this tag and I'll give it to the comparator, right? So now comparator will compare these two. So if there are only 2 bits, exclusive OR can be used for comparing, right? So comparator will compare these two, and then it will produce the output saying yes or no. If these two are matching, it will say yes, right? Which means if these two are matching, it will produce a output of 1, which means a hit, right? If it is not matching, it will produce a output of 0, then which means it is a miss. Understood this? Simply put, it is how it works. So there will be a multiplexer which will be connected to all the tag lines, right? And then given the line number, we can choose one of the line, and then we can read the tag bits from that line, the tag bits, using the multiplexer. And once we read the tag lines, we can compare them using with the tag lines of the given address, and if they both of them match, we can say it is hit, otherwise it is miss, right? In this case, what is the time taken in order to do this entire procedure? The time taken is the latency of the multiplexer plus the latency of the comparator. Let us say latency of the multiplexer is 1 nanosecond and latency of the comparator is 1 nanosecond. Then what is hit latency? Hit latency of this direct mapping is 2 nanoseconds. This is called hit latency. Got it? And now one more thing. See, this is the simplest method which I have shown you when the tag bits are only 1. What if the tag bits are 2? Then what we are supposed to do is, every multiplexer is able to fetch only 1 bit from the tag bit. then depending on the number of tag bits we should have those many multiplexers, which means just one multiplexer is not enough. In parallel we should have two multiplexers. Let us say the number of bits here are tag bits are 2, like this, something like this. Okay, so if the number of tag bits are 2, then instead of having one multiplexer I should have two multiplexers. Now one multiplexer will get the first bit and the second multiplexer will get the second bit. Second multiplexer will get the second bit like this. It will be connected like this. Okay, and both of them should read the same line. In order to read the same line, both of them will be given the same line numbers, right? Now when the line number is given to both of them are going to go into the same line and get the tag bits parallelly, right? And now this is also going to give you one tag bit, and let us say here there are 2 bits. Now these 2 bits will be compared with these 2 bits, right? So depending on the size of the tag bits, the number of depending on number of the tag bits, the number of the multiplexers will depend, and the size of the comparator will depend. Now let us say the tag bits are k bits, which means the tag bits field contains k bits. Then how many multiplexers are required? Since each multiplexer is capable of reading only one bit, then k multiplexers are required, one thing, right? And then we need only one comparator. The reason is we have to search only for one tag field, or we have to search only for one line, because we are very sure that if the required block is present in the cache, it will be present only in one particular block or line, cache line. If the required block, main memory block, if it is present in the cache, it will definitely be present at only one place. Why? Because it is many to one mapping, which means many blocks are actually mapped to only one tag line, right? So what I am trying to say is, so we need only one comparator, that's it. But how many bits it should be able to compare? K bits it should be able to compare. One k bit comparator. Why should I say the k bits? Because every comparator is designed in such a way that it will be capable of comparing some number of bits, right? Therefore, if I have k bits in the tag, then the number of multiplexers required is k multiplexers, because each multiplexer will be able to read one bit. And then if I have direct mapping, see, in direct mapping always one comparator is required, and the size of the comparator required is this k bit comparator. Anyway, even though I have k number of multiplexers, all of them will be working in parallel. Therefore, just take the latency of one multiplexer and then one comparator. That's enough. You need not take k multiplexers and then one comparator, because these are all operating in parallel. Got it? One more question is, sometimes what they say is, if the comparator delay is 10 into k nanoseconds, this is how they can frame the question. So they say that comparator delay is 10 into k nanoseconds, where k is the number of tag bits. Then what is the delay? And they say that the multiplexer delay is maybe 10 nanoseconds, right? So if k equal to 2, we have to substitute it. Are you understanding this? If the number of bits in the tag field is 2, sometimes they say that comparator delay is 10k nanoseconds, which means they will not give you the comparator delay directly. You are supposed to calculate it. So 10 into k nanoseconds means if there are 2 bits in the tag field, then the comparator takes 20 nanoseconds to compare it. If there are 3 bits in the tag field, then the comparator takes 30 nanoseconds. So this question is just used in so that you will even compute the number of bits in the tag. So this is a combined question. Once you find out the number of bits in the tag field, you can directly substitute that number of bits here, and you can find out the comparator delay, and then this multiplexer delay you can take it, right? Anyway, generally most of the cases multiplexer delay will be negligible, but comparator delay will be more. That is why in general in direct mapping questions they will not give you anything about the multiplexer. So in multiplexers they generally neglect it, the multiplexer part. They will just give you the comparator part because they will be negligible. This one will be more. comparatively more, right? So in exam, if they don't give you anything about the multiplexer and if they talk only about the comparator, just go with that. So let's see one question. Let us say one small question. Let us say main memory size is 1 GB and cache size is 1 MB, right? And then the comparator size is 10 into k nanoseconds. The comparator delay is the propagation delay of comparator is 10 into k nanoseconds. Then what is hit latency? Hit latency is how much? Then we have to find out the tags. So I told you how to find out the tag bits, right? So how can you find out the number of tag bits? The number of tag bits can be found out by finding out this ratio, right? So if I find out this ratio, I get 1k. I mean, if you divide this one with this one, I get 1k, which is nothing but 2 power 10. What does it mean? 2 power 10 main memory blocks are actually mapped to one cache line, right? Therefore, how many bits are there in the how many bits are required in the tag? No, 10 tags. So tag bits required are 10, right? If tag bits required are 10, then what is the delay of the comparator? 10 into 10, right? Then the comparator delay required is 100 nanoseconds. Got it? So this is how you could solve such questions. So in case if they give you anything about the multiplexer also, then we can even go for it. They will not give you multiplexers, because if they have to give you the multiplexers, they have to give you the number also, right? So let us say they are saying the multiplexer is so and so, then you could directly find out k. If they want you to if they want you to even solve it for k, they will not talk about multiplexers, right? So let us say even multiplexer delay is also given, then you can add the multiplexer delay here, right? Then you can get the hit latency. Got it? So in this question, hit latency is 100 nanoseconds. So simple questions like that can be solved, but anyway, remember this mechanism. This is how everything is happening. Got it? So now in direct mapping, if there are k bits in the tags, then how many multiplexers are required? K multiplexers are required. And the number of comparators required is always 1. So write it somewhere. In direct mapping, right, always the number of comparators required is always 1. Why is it so? Because we exactly know where to look for, and if it is present there, it is fine. If it is not present there, it means that it is not present anywhere in the cache. We directly know, given any main memory address, we directly know where that block will be present, right? In case if that block is present at that point, we can directly go and watch it. If it is not present, we can get out of it, right? So one more thing is, let us say the main memory block number is m, right? And direct mapping maps it like this. If the main memory block number is m, right, and the number of cache lines are n, then mth block will be present in kth line of the cache. Okay, so the way we did it earlier, it can also be written like this: mth block of the main memory is present in kth line of the cache, where n is the number of lines in the cache. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll take some problems on this and I'll explain you with some examples. You'll understand this equation. Anyway, just remember that it is very important. The number of comparators required in direct mapping is only one comparator, because we know where to look for. If it is not present there, it is not present it is not present anywhere. Got it? Fine.